We're sat in pole position. Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap. Push for a safety car right. Position. Okay, be aware the car behind is catching you by 5/10 a lap. Okay, the safety car is out. Safety car is out. We need to form up at reduced pace. Keep a close... Right, let's go. Come on. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one. Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place. DRS has been enabled. DRS is now enabled. Green flag. Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
Zinedine Zidane. A pony on. That very early. Car going very fast. There's the 15 car moving up the order. The 28 car, Art car, is down towards the tail of the field. And two yellow-nosed cars. The yellow-nosed Cadillac is number 3. There's the onboard view from number 2. So somebody else is losing a lot of oil because the number 2 caddy is in 7th place with Alex Lynn at the wheel.
Yeah, surprised to see the screen so dirty so early on. The first lap of the race is something you'd imagine at the end of the first stint or something. But yeah, that Team Jota car seems to be falling back just a little bit, doesn't it, at the moment?
Number 35 is the other car with a really dirty screen, and that car is a long way further back, so it's not the same car that's chucking out oil. Everything will have been really filled with oil, so some of them perhaps losing a little bit more. But at the end of the first lap, it is Niklas Nielsen in the number 50 Ferrari that leads the race from the pole-sitting number 6 Porsche Penske Motorsport 963 as they stream past the pits for the first time. And Anthony, despite the cold tyres and the fairly slow warm-up lap, actually not many major dramas on lap 1.
No, they were well behaved actually. It was close, but well behaved. So, you know, they've been used to these cold tyres all week so far. So, yeah, I think for once we've seen a first lap incident-free, or pretty much incident-free lap at Le Mans. This is the LMP2 field we look at briefly, but back to the hypercar action. Say now stream through for the second time, Tetra Rouge.
Yeah, our pole sitters in the other two classes, as you were. AO by TF leading LMP2, and it is the Inception McLaren leading LMGT3. There will be a penalty stop, by the way, for the 78. They join from the pit lane. It will be a 2-minute stop and hold.
And that will be for the incident that took out the number 7 car earlier on. Yeah, number 3 Cadillac being passed by the 51 Ferrari. That's a change for 3rd place. Antonio Giovinazzi getting back in front of Sebastian Bourdais.
And the Toyota as well has found its way past the Alpine further back.
So Toyota really with the bit between their teeth. It's been a while since Toyota's had to really fight as hard as they are going to have to do now to come out on top. Brains trap in Porsche. On the right-hand side, you saw Thomas Laudenbach ahead of Porsche Racing Program. It's Ferrari, Porsche, Ferrari, Cadillac, Ferrari, BMW. We've run out of Ferraris now in the top 6.
Yeah, Sebastian Buemi, who of course is in the car number 8 Toyota. And there's the number 7 Toyota further back, so they come into the second chicane.
Last, Nick de Vries is still last in hypercar, behind the Assetto, behind both Cadillacs, behind both Peugeots, and making no progress. That car had front-end damage. Let's hear from the Whelen Cadillac team.
Great lap, buddy, great lap. Just keep doing them like that. Nicely done.
Yeah, it was a great lap. A really good opening lap there from Pipo Derani. Not a familiar name in the World Endurance Championship scene. He mostly drives in the IMSA Championship, but he really knows these cars and he knows how to race in sports cars. Do not underestimate him. A real professional driver, as we see the battle here. Car 34 into Mulsanne Corner, Graham.
Trouble for the 47 car. That's the Cool Racing car. The two cars we saw earlier, by the way, are class-winning cars from last year from LMP2 and LMP2 Pro-Am. But Cool Racing's number 47.
That's Matt Bell, whose brother Rob is part of our commentary team. He's gone down to join the McLaren team, with which he does so much work. There's Alpine's Formula 1 driver lineup, watching their 2 hypercars. Now, these cars, 5th and 6th in the first free practice session. They didn't have enough pace to get both of them into the hyperpole, but the number 35 car there in the hands of Charles Malaysi did make it through into hyperpole. So we know the Alpine, despite only being 3 races old, is a quick car.
Well, but he's in big trouble here. If that was his car we were running on board with, he can't see where he's going. So the oil that we saw from someone's car out there, maybe he's put the windscreen wiper on with, you got solution in there as well. It's not just water. They often put brake cleaner, believe it or not, to try and clean the windscreen. You've got a washer there as well. And if he's done that, all it's done is smeared all of that oil over the screen. He cannot see.
Which begs the question, which car is dropping that much oil? Fastest lap of the race this early on, a 3:30.547 from the 3rd place 51 Ferrari by Antonio Giovinazzi. The 51 and the 83, by the way, will have to serve 10-second penalties in their first pit stop.
Riding on board in the Doctor's BMW, car number 46, one of two WRT cars. Maxime Martin, we just rode with him in 12th place, chasing Gregoire Saucy, the car right in front of him. And that is one of our, 11th place for United Autosports in one of their two McLarens. And there you can see the outside the top 10, Lamborghini's 63 car in 11th, ahead of the 36 Alpine. And further down the order, AO by TF 24th, leading in LMP2 from Panis Racing in second place, and the Edex Sport in third. Well, not much has changed at the front of LMP2, but it's been all action at the front of Hypercar. There is the pole sitter, Inception Racing's Frederick Schandorf in the car for the lead of LMGT3, and the JMW Motorsport Ferrari right behind of Larry Tenforder, Ben Barker in Proton's 77 car up to third, and another change going on here. This is Alex Lynn. Look how dirty his screen is, Anthony, in the number 2 Cadillac.
Yeah, and he's following now Sebastian Buemi, who's on an absolute mission here. Buemi steadily making his way up through the pack. He's now overtaken Alex Lynn. He's already overtaken the Alpine. That car is quick in the hands of Sebastian Buemi.
And still no progress from 23rd place from the second tow to number 7.
Trying to figure out what might be leaving the oil. Number 15 BMW was ahead of Alex Lynn until just now.
Copy that, Alex, copy that. Currently P7.
Well, and there's the view again from Charles Milesi. And Charles Milesi is actually right up behind the number 2 Cadillac. So has he been picking up oil from the Caddy or from the Toyota?
No, because the Caddy's got oil on it, so it's good as well. He's something ahead of them.
The BMW was the car that has been ahead of them. Toyota's Sebastian Buemi is now.
This is close.
Peugeot under pressure from Hertz Team Jota. This is for 13th place. The Peugeot in the hands of Nico Müller, Phil Hansen trying to go the long way around the outside, and Alex Lynn is really struggling. Charles Milesi couldn't see much, so maybe he accidentally got by there. Antonio Felix da Costa in the back of the Jota garage, raced with the team last year and desperately wants to be part of this again.
You could just see there the Alpine with the windscreen wiper on, so I did suspect that he had done that actually, and that was visual evidence. He's at it again.
Charles, if you want to put some washer and use the wiper, it's better at flow speed.
It's not working even at low speed. It's making it really worse.
He's going to have to put up with it, isn't he, Anthony?
It's such a mistake. It is, as we watch a close battle in GTs. But just let me finish on that one. It is a mistake to use the washers, like his engineer said, at high speed. It's a solution in there, and all it does is melt the tear-offs that they put over the thin layer of plastic tear-off. It melts so it's used really for the wet weather, not for oil.
Yeah, there's a change there, the 44 Mustang, the additional Mustang here at Le Mans goes by the number 46 BMW. Tussles all the way down this LMGT3 grid as well.
Yeah, that car being driven by GT ace Chris Mees, who spent so much time in Audis. What a different car the Mustang must be.
Feel free to increase TC gain, start to change roll bars, maybe softer rear or stiffer front.
Oh, Sebastian Buemi under investigation for passing off track at Marshall's post 3, which is the first chicane.
Maybe that was the car I spotted at the start of the race. It wasn't a Jota, maybe it was Buemi. I just saw it out of shot. I haven't seen a replay yet of the start. Oh, was that the BMW going wide out of Tetra Rouge there? Very wide.
Yeah, might well have been. He's under pressure. This is the Proton car coming back. So, in fact, Maxime Martin had got back past that yellow Mustang. And these cars are also different. Mustang front engines, you got rear-ended, mid-engine cars, all sorts of different flat six, V8, V10s, all sorts of weird and wonderful combinations in GT3. They work better in different parts of the track.
Yeah, the Mustang making its comeback to Le Mans for the first time in a quarter of a century, and it doesn't lack the ponies there, does it? Once it's on a straight line, it's just powering by.
Well, look at the top speeds here, over 360 kilometers an hour, potentially as a top speed for these cars. Here's the battle for second. Ferrari 51 trying to go up into second place. Antonio Giovinazzi does it.
Let's go forward with brake balance. You can go forward with brake balance, 0.5%.
Now you see the 3 red lights on the side of the Ferrari now become 2 as they come through another timing beacon. It's second place. 3 red lights is 3, but Lawrence Vantor in the tow down to Mulsanne corner. He's going to have to be brave to go the long way round the outside. He's not feeling that brave just yet.
Yeah, the Ferraris look quick at this stage of the race, don't they? It's what I thought might happen with their race pace, outperforming where they were in qualifying. So you see the Cadillac of number 3 just dropping back there, Sebastian Bourdais. The Ferrari's definitely on the way forward, as well as the car number 8 Toyota. But Vanthoor, incredibly fast drive. We saw that in Qatar, the opening round of the season, and he's not going to give up easily, but I feel like he hasn't quite got the speed at this point.
I've got no top speed.
Copy that, copy that.
Yeah, Durrani saying he's lost top speed in the wheel and caddy. There's Jackie Hicks in the BMW garage.
Yeah, his lap times have gone out a little, but beginning to recover after dropping back sharply at the start of the race and making up time now and making up places is the number 12 Hertz Team Joda car, back up to 17th place.
Top speeds on the straight, 337 kilometers an hour from the Alpine of Charles Milesi is about the fastest I can see on the last lap. That's a pretty decent pace from that Alpine. Back with Manthey Pure Racing, that white Porsche in LMGT3, that is our championship leader. They've had a really strong season so far, and that's Alex Malikin defending 3rd place. Right behind him, Alex Riberas, 27 Harter Racing, the blue Aston, then Marco Sorensen in the D-Station Aston, green and black, and then the Iron Lynx car of Matteo Crissoni. Now, most of these teams are starting their bronze-rated driver, or some of them are starting their bronze-rated driver, like Pure Racing, but right behind, Alex Riberas, Marco Sorensen, Matteo Crissoni, and Danny Juncadella are all pro drivers. Now, this is the 47 Cool Racing LMP2 car in the pit lane. Matt Bell bailing out very early in the race.
Let's hope that's not the absolute end for the 47. He did bring that car back. You also seen, by the way, the 33 LMP2 car, the DK Engineering car, in the hands of Lawrence Herr. That car has been on pit lane for around a minute. My guess is that might well have been a puncher.
Well, Matt Bell has only completed 2 laps and bringing the car in. There's Kevin Estra on the radio with all the Porsche Penske teammates there. 3 drivers in each of these cars. Penske have got 3 cars in their armoury, and Porsche with 6 cars to gamble with. Anthony, it makes sense if the Porsche is quick, and we think it is, having 6 chances to win Le Mans has got to play into your hands.
It definitely helps you, doesn't it? Like you say, you just got more chances. And it's the same for the Cadillac running their 3 cars. Ferrari, you know, they've got 3 cars as well. But yeah, looking behind here, the GT battle rages on. That's what we expect for the entire race. Every time you see the GTs, they're always nose to tail. As we see here, the mid-pack in the hypercar category as well. But the Ferraris at this stage really look like they have that race pace. Buemi looks like he's got past the BMW as well, so he continues to make progress. Can anyone match the 329.6 that Nick Nilsson has laid down?
Well, getting closer is Sebastian Bourdais, 4th in the train, 330.9, his fastest race lap. 330.8 for Nico Lapierre, we just saw in the 36 Alpine, but he's been towed along behind the back of this little group. There's the 15 BMW under pressure from the 35 Alpine of Charles Milesi. Milesi's having a great start to the race, despite the fact that he's basically driving squinting to try and see what's going on in front of him.
You've got to ask, haven't you, just how well could he be doing if he could see where he was going?
Well, maybe not being able to see where he's going is helping him as he late lunges people.
Yeah, because he's got past Alex Lynn as well in the number 2 Cadillac. That's a surprise. So Milesi now seriously pressurising the number 15 BMW. Looks to go around the outside. Let's hear some from Buemi.
Yeah, they're okay. I'll let you know if they're critical. You're lapping at a similar pace to the Ferrari ahead on softs, so good job. I think the 2 fastest soft cars at the moment.
Interesting. We heard Buemi complaining about high brake temperatures in the 15-minute morning warm-up and whether or not they got too much blanking over the brake ducting. So that's Okay, it's not going to be a long-term problem because in 10 laps they'll be in the pit lane, or in 6 laps from now, so it'll last less than 40 minutes, but you don't want to be cooking your tyres. The reason for blanking off the brakes is to make sure that they stay warm, and that helps keep heat in the front tyres as well. Ferrari 1-2, Porsche Penske 3rd, Caddy 4th, Ferrari 5th, Toyota 6th, and 2 Cadillacs and 2 Alpines in the top 11. So for the new Alpine, that's a really strong performance. They can see 2 Aston Martins have both got ahead of the white Porsche. So Alex Malikin, the gentleman driver, has dropped down to 5th place, 6th place now in GT3, and he's been pressured from behind by Matteo Cressoni in the black and yellow Iron Lynx Lamborghini, side by side, going 3 wide. Around the outside comes the Mustang. Is going to overtake both the Chevrolet Corvette, that's the word I'm struggling for, and the McLaren that was the meat in the sandwich.
Yeah.
Well, didn't get by the McLaren, did get by the get by them both. He's trying to get the other McLaren as well.
That was a great bit of racing.
Oh, BMW 15 in the barriers. Marco Wittmann put the car off the road early in the race in Imola.
So yeah, this is the right-hander before Tetra Rouge. How has this happened as he tries to spin turn the car around? He gets it going again. Now, how much damage, if at all, has that done as Vincent Voss, the boss of WRT, watches on? They run that BMW team.
Well, all sorts of drama going on. You can see Matteo Cressoni coming past Alex Malikin, but down at Cool Racing, Bruce Giuani.
Matt, can you explain what happened? Is it an engine problem? Is it going to be okay?
Well, they say you always need a bit of luck to win Le Mans, and ours seems to have run out before it started. It appears that the radiator has been damaged by a stone on the rolling lap. So from the minute that we started, we were running high on water temp. Then the guys obviously realized there's a problem and had to box, and yeah, it appears that the radiator's been punctured. So at some point in the rolling up lap, when everybody's weaving, someone has unfortunately flicked, it seems likely at the moment, someone's unfortunately flicked something up into our radiator.
Thank you very much, Matt. Thanks a lot.
They survived 24 minutes, never mind 24 laps with the radiator leaking water. So they're on the back foot to start with. Let's hear from the number 81 TF Sport car.
Yeah, so let's save some energy behind him. So a little bit of lift and coast into the chicanes. No need to attack him too hard. Save energy through Porsche, and we jump them in the pits.
Well, he's behind the dark maroon and white AF Corsa, a Spirit of Race Ferrari rather, of Johnny Larson. Further forward, Maxime Martin. You just saw him in the 46 BMW. There's Alex Malikin still under pressure. Right behind Malikin is the first of those Proton competition Mustangs. That's Dennis Olsen in the black car with the gold pony on. Proton running 2 Mustangs in the championship, 88 and 77. BMW 15 reporting that it was a change of brake bias to try and move the balance of the car that caught out Marco Wittmann, and again over the brow through the Dunlop curve. Here we go, down the inside. The Mustang of Dennis Olsen absolutely flying. He's doing a stunning job in that car. Carves his way through up into 7th place, and looking back from Alex Malikin, well, it's Malikin's job not to win this race now, but to lose as little time as possible when he's in the car. Every other car in this category has to have a bronze rated driver as well. Not all of them are in the car at the start. Malikin is, so he's now up against a whole bunch of pros. He's got United Autosports McLaren of Gregoire Saucy. That's the orange and black car, and behind him is the yellow Proton Mustang of Christopher Mies. Mies just showing his nose, and Saucy looking outside, inside. Can't get through there. Good work by Alex Malikin, sitting in the middle of the road, line and length. There's the Iron Dames Lamborghini, and that's right ahead of Maxime Martin now as we continue the battle. That's for 11th place.
Make sure to tell me when the hypercars are going to come up.
Yeah, that's a really valid radio message, because already Maxime Martin, as we're 6 laps in, surely it's going to be lap 7 or something, or is it going to be this lap when they're catching Well, we're with the hypercars going onto the Mulsanne straight, and not yet off it at the far end is the entire GT3 field.
I think Wittmann's got a further problem. He's losing further places to LMP2 cars. Just watched him drop 2 further places, so I wonder if he's got a further problem now.
Well, that's the weight of expectations of my €5 having him as a dark horse for victory.
Yeah, it's like 2 different races. When you're in this race you see here with the GTs, with no other classes around you, so you can focus on your own race, and then suddenly this wave of hypercars, and then it will be the LMP2s coming at you as well, and it mixes everything up as we see the BMW number 15 coming down pit lane now. Yeah, has this sustained any damage? I should think it has.